You are enjoying music in a program, Music Box. This is the General Music Service, Silent Radio. In a short while from now, you can listen to the news followed by the news commentary at 22:10 UTC. Our program, Destination India, will come your way at 22:15 UTC, and its transmission will be closed down at 22:30 UTC. And now, it's time for the news bulletin on the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. Please stand by.
This is All India Radio. The news read by Abhijit Lorraine. The headlines. Defense Ministry clears procurement worth 21,000 crore rupees. Arun Jaitley says 56 transport aircraft to be produced in private sector to replace airworks of Air Force. Finance Minister stresses on financial inclusion of rural population through banking sector. A team of Malaysian investigators reached Ukrainian capital Kiev to probe the Boeing crash. 20 people, including 3 children, were killed in Israeli ground offensive in the Gaza Strip. The Defense Ministry has cleared procurement proposals worth 21,000 crore rupees to promote domestic military industry. It has also okayed a project for the production of 56 transport aircraft to replace the Air Force's fleet of Avro aircraft. This will be open only to the Indian private sector companies. The proposals were cleared by the Defense Acquisition Council. Chairing his first meeting of the council, Defense Minister Arun Jaitley said there are many proposals in the pipeline for the defense forces, and yesterday they have tried to expedite quite a few of them. Jaitley said production of 56 transport aircraft is going to be a significant project in which the private sector will be the sole player and lead to capacity building in the private sector. Among the major proposals to receive approval is a 9,000 crore rupees tender to provide 5 fleet support ships for the Navy. Defense Ministry officials said the request for the proposal will be issued to all public and private sector shipyards. A proposal to procure search and rescue equipment for the three services at a cost of 900 crores too has received a green light. The NDA government under Prime Minister Narendra Modi is stressing on the indigenization of the military industry, given that India has to import 70% of its defense hardware. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says that recapitalization of 2.4 lakh crore rupees by public sector banks over the next 4 years is the priority of the government. Inaugurating a new branch of the Canara Bank in New Delhi yesterday, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said the capital will be raised by the banks without diluting public sector characteristics in them so that the government stake in the banks would remain over 51%. The minister said that the government holding majority stake in public directly investing in these banks will help in expanding and increasing the whole process of financial inclusion. Home Minister Rajnath Singh has issued direction to internal security agencies for preparation of a holistic roadmap on key issues, including left-wing extremism, in a time-bound manner. The minister reviewed the entire gamut of the internal security scenario, activities of terrorist organizations, cross-border terrorism, besides others at a high-level meeting with senior officials of the security establishment and intelligence agencies in New Delhi yesterday. India will set up a center for traditional medicine for the first time in Beijing. The aim is to reclaim its centuries-old legacy of Ayurveda and yoga, which became part of Chinese Malayu along with Buddhism over 1500 years ago. Indian ambassador to China, Ashok Kekanta, said that plans are on to set up a center of Ayush, that is Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. He was inaugurating a 4-day long yoga workshop being conducted along with China's successful yoga college, Yogi Yoga, run by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. A multi-purpose indoor stadium will be constructed at a cost of over 797 lakh rupees at Leh in the Ladakh region. Officials said in Srinagar that the central government has sanctioned 6 crore rupees for the stadium with a seating capacity of 1,000 spectators. Balance expenditure will be borne by Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council. This is All India Radio giving you the news. A team of Malaysian investigators reached Kiev yesterday to try and get to the bottom of what happened to the Malaysian Airlines aircraft that was shot down on Thursday, killing all those on board. Ukraine has claimed it has compelling evidence that Russian crew operated the missile system that downed the Malaysian jet with 298 people on board. It also accused Moscow of helping rebels in trying to destroy evidence. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written to the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Najib bin Abdul Razak, and expressed his condolences on the loss of lives on board MH17 aircraft. According to a statement issued by Prime Minister's office, Modi in a letter said that the global outrage over the incident is justifiable. He said, India fully supports efforts for an investigation that can help establish the exact circumstances in which the incident took place. At least 20 people, including 3 children, were killed in Israeli ground operations in the Gaza yesterday. Other reports put the death toll at 25. Israel pressed on the ground operation and intensive air barrages across Gaza, with the death toll rising to 337 on the 12th day of the offensive. Israel's ground operation followed 10 days of airstrikes in Gaza, which failed to stop Hamas's rockets from reaching across the border. Ukraine and Russia continue to blame each other for the shooting down of the Malaysian Airlines passenger plane. The governments of Ukraine and the United States say that plane was shot down with a former Soviet ground-to-air missile fired by pro-Russians who control the region where the shooting down took place. Ukrainian and US officials say pro-Russian separatists must have received support from Russia because a high level of technological skill is required to handle the type of missile used. Russian Deputy Defense Minister Anatoly Antonov has dismissed suggestions that pro-Russians or people in Russia were involved in the incident. In Egypt, at least 15 border guards were killed by unknown gunmen armed with heavy weapons in an attack on a military checkpoint in southern part of the country. Security officials said in Cairo yesterday that the attack occurred in the town of Farafara as armed men attacked the military checkpoint in a desert area 630 kilometers west of Cairo with rocket-propelled grenades. The attackers were riding three cars loaded with weapons and holding the flag of Al Qaeda. Four of the attackers were also killed, security officials added. The attack reportedly took place in the evening when people break their fast during Ramadan. Pakistan's military has said that its forces are systematically moving ahead in North Waziristan as two key militant villages were captured with no terrorists being eliminated and dislodged from their bases. The army said in a statement in Islamabad that Operation Zab-e-Az was launched last month to uproot foreign and local militants from the tribal region on the Afghan border. More than 450 militaries and at least 26 soldiers have been killed in the month-long offensive so far, which has also displaced about 1 million people. The visiting Chinese President Xi Jinping has announced huge investments in hydroelectric power, shipbuilding, railways, and a deal to help Argentina build its fourth nuclear plant in Argentina. Argentina was in the spotlight yesterday, with Xi signing more than 20 agreements with President Cristina Kirchner in Buenos Aires on the first day of his three-day visit. Among the agreements was a bilateral strategic partnership, similar to others signed with emerging nations such as Brazil. India were 169 for 4 in the second innings in the second cricket test against England but lost at the end of the third day's play yesterday. Murli Vijay on 59 and Dhoni on 12 were the not-out batsmen. For India, Cheteshwar Pujara made 43, Shikhar Dhawan was out for 31 and Kohli without score. India has taken a lead of 145 runs so far. Earlier, England resumed the third day's play at 219 for 6 and were all out for 319 in reply to India's first innings total of 295. Gary Barlow scored 110 and Leon Blunkett made 55. For India, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar cleaned 6 wickets while Jadeja scored 2. Three scores: India first innings 295 and 169 for 4. England first innings 319 all out. Switzerland has claimed the top spot on the Global Innovation Index for the fourth straight year. In a report released on the sidelines of the G20 Trade Ministers meeting in Sydney, the annual rankings, which this year focused on the role people play in the innovation process, find that Switzerland and other top-ranked countries, Britain, Sweden, and Finland, had strong all-round support systems that led to high levels of creativity. And now to end this bulletin, here are the headlines again. Defense Ministry clears procurement worth 21,000 crore rupees. Arun Jaitley says 56 transport aircraft to be produced in private sector to replace Avros of the Air Force. Finance Minister stresses on financial inclusion of rural population through banking sector. A team of Malaysian investigators reached Ukrainian capital Kiev to probe the Boeing crash. 20 people, including 3 children, were killed in Israeli ground attacks in the Gaza Strip. And that is the end of this news bulletin.
You are with us in the Channel Overseas service of All India Radio. Time now for the day's commentary, entitled The Week in Parliament, scripted by R.C. Rajamani, consultant editor of The Statesman, and read by Maya Alvina. Two diplomatic issues, one about the meeting of an Indian journalist with the wanted terrorist Hafiz Saeed in Pakistan, and the other concerning the Israeli raids in Gaza Strip, plunged Parliament in prolonged turmoil last week. On most days of the week, proceedings ran into rough weather as soon as both the houses met for the day. The opposition demanded an immediate discussion on the issues, suspending question now. In the Lok Sabha, Congress members, led by Mallikarjun Kharge, demanded response from the government on the journalists' meeting with Saeed, who was the mastermind of the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack. When Speaker Sumitra Mahajan ruled that question hour will not be suspended, the members trooped into the well and shouted slogans against the journalist and Saeed. Amid uproar, Jammu and Kashmir People's Democratic Party members Mehbooba Mufti and Tariq Hamid Kara, who came to the well and protested against the killing of innocent Palestinians in Gaza by Israeli bombing. They carried placards that read, Gaza needs our voice in solidarity with Gaza and shouted slogans like Speak India, Speak. Speaker Mahajan asked the members not to disturb question hour and warned the PDP members not to show placards as it was against parliamentary norms. Members of left parties too supported the PDP protest and stood in the aisle demanding a reply from the government. Responding to the Saeed issue, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj said government had nothing to do with the journalist meeting India's one of the most wanted terrorists in Pakistan recently. Allegations that the government facilitated the journalist meeting with Hafiz Saeed are false and baseless, she said. Congress member Shafi Tharoor supported Mehbooba on the Gaza issue and said his party shares the concern over the tremendous tragedy, pointing out that India has consistently stood by the Palestinian people and for peace and justice. He said Israel and Palestine should learn to live side by side. He wanted a short duration discussion on the issue and a resolution on it. Most opposition parties demanded that the government bring a resolution condemning Israeli action and articulate its voice against the killings in Gaza Strip at the United Nations. Parliamentary Affairs Minister M. Venkaiah Naidu ruled out any resolution saying domestic politics should not affect our foreign policy. He said the matter was highly sensitive concerning foreign policy, and any move by the government should not have any implications. The issue led to 2 days of disruption in the Rajya Sabha. The opposition members demanded a debate on the Israel-Palestinian conflict in the Gaza Strip. While the chairman agreed, the government wanted to do it another day. The government said rules do not allow discourteous reference towards friendly nations. Leader of opposition, Ghulam Nabi Azad, said India also has economic interests in West Asia. Peace in West Asia is in the interest of India, Azad said. During the week, government made a statement on the Nagoya Protocol, which provides incentives to conserve biodiversity. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar said the protocol on access and benefit sharing will take effect on 12th October 2014. He said ratification of the Nagoya Protocol by 51 parties is also a major step towards achieving the first of the global IT biodiversity targets. The pivotal role played by India in achieving this remarkable feat once again showcases India's leadership in biodiversity in the global arena, he said. During question hour, Rajya Sabha was told that as many as 5,986 Indians are languishing in foreign jails, and most of them are in jails across Saudi Arabia. Minister of State for External Affairs, General V.K. Singh, said in a written reply that 71 Indian nationals have completed their sentences and have been waiting for completion of deportation formalities. He said the Indian missions located abroad have approached the respective foreign governments for speeding up the process. The maximum of 1,400 Indian prisoners are lodged in jails across Saudi Arabia, the minister said. A total of 468 Indian nationals are in Pakistani jails, while 985 continue to remain in prisons in the United Arab Emirates, UAE. You are listening to today's commentary entitled The Work in Parliament, scripted by R.C. Rajamani, consultant editor, The Statesman, and read by Maria Alvina. This is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. Time now for our program Destination India, where you can listen to a talk on lesser known hill stations of South India by Sri Ratnaswamy, a travel writer.
Think of Kerala and you'd imagine golden beaches, swaying palm trees, and in golden